Thank you, Michael Powers. Today our theme is all about power, so can you stand it? The universe is aligned with us today, absolutely.
I think the synchronicity. Synchronicity is apparent.
Absolutely. Let's make sure this is right. Okay, so most of you know Michael. I just love that our new minister gets to experience all our wonderful music. And I keep thinking every week, oh, I wonder what she thinks of this person. You know, it's like every Sunday, it's like better and better and better and better all the time. So thank you so much. This is the busiest musician in Seattle, according to Cerny, and Cerny knows all. So I know that's accurate. In fact, he just played 17 gigs in 12 days, and he still came here to be with us. So he's, as he told me, he's so happy to be playing for us in person, which is great. We think so too. He's very busy in Phoenix a lot. So if you have friends in Phoenix, let them know about him. And you can find out more about him on his website at michaelpowersmusic.com. You're welcome. It's a thrill to have you. So welcome to the light and love that is Unity of South Sound, and I say that to these beautiful beings right here, as well as to all of those of you watching on Facebook Live or YouTube. And my name's Ruth Rogers. It's a thrill to be back in the saddle here at the platform. It's been since last fall. I had a little burnout for a while and lost a family member, and I'm back. I'll just say. So, nothing like being here with all of you. So if you have any questions, concerns, or joys to share, please contact our office during business hours at 253-301-0385 or email us at office@unityofsouthsound.org. At this time, we'd also like to invite you to put your cell phones into the silence, where we're going to go pretty soon. So if you do that now. So we invite you to relax, reconnect, and center in the truth of who we are. There is only, will you join me in saying our opening affirmation? There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, the good omnipotence. And our mission statement, inspired by the divine, as an inclusive spiritual community, we explore and express our highest potential. Our vision statement, present and centered in divine love, we co-create a peaceful and awakened world. And our core values, we are love, joy, abundance, and spirit guided. And I'd like to invite our dear new Reverend Megan to come and light the Unity candle.
I am so grateful to be standing here with you, and I realized that last week I neglected to just honor and welcome back Cerny, who was on a humanitarian mission in Poland to support the Ukrainian people in their transition to find safety and to thrive. And just, you know, it was just like such an amazing expression of love and commitment that you made. And you know, we have a small tithe that we're giving to him to support him with that for our global tithe to humanity. And I just wanted to acknowledge you, that I just think that it was awesome what you did. So with that, we just take in a deep breath. And we stand firm in knowing the power of our opening statement. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. And just breathe in and know that. The omnipotence, that is the divinity within us that is active in and through and as us in everything we think, say, and do. And so we allow that to animate us, to activate all the energy within us so that we will discern the truth from within and have the courage to speak it, to express it, to be it, and make a difference in the world. And that is the intention we hold for today. And so it is. Amen.
So I invite you to stand if you're able and join with our song leader, Annie Lane Ryan, in singing our congregational songs. Thank you, Michael, and all the rest of our wonderful. Give an elbow bump. Otherwise, we just invite you to please place your hands together and say Namaste. I behold the divinity you are. Namaste. Thank you, Annie. So, I have the perfect inspirational reading for this morning. Just want to make that clear before I start. And it's a quote from Marianne Williamson that was read by Nelson Mandela in 1994 when he did his inaugural address. He often gets credit, but it's really Marianne. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your plain small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our own presence automatically liberates others. And now, Reverend Megan will lead us in a time of meditation.
So as we prepare, I invite you to be open and receptive to the vibration of love that radiates from our prayer bowl as it sings into your heart. And just allow yourself to feel relaxed, supported in your seat, and to begin that process of conscious breathing. Breathe it in. Closing your eyes if you have not already done so. Just feel the rhythm of your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. We surrender into this moment. And again, taking in a deep breath, and feel that breath breathing you, awakening you, allowing yourself to feel and know all that you are. And as you exhale, exhale consciously, intentionally, releasing anything and everything that is not one with your divine nature, not one with all the attributes of the amazing demonstration of who you are, of your light. We let it all go. It has served a purpose, and we are grateful for everything that allows us to have a moment of healing and transformation. So bring your attention to your throat chakra and that space at the base of your neck, your tongue, your larynx. And just breathe through that as we activate that power center within us. And as you do, imagine a beautiful, healing, purple light radiating from your throat chakra. And just notice the vibration and the energy as it's activating your center of power that allows you to speak and stand in truth. And so in a moment of silence, we allow ourselves to just be present to that center that is allowing the power, the mastery, the self-expression of truth to come forth through me, and that my intention is to only speak and know truth. And I connect with it in a moment of silence. I breathe through my power center. I feel the vibration activating and reminding me that as I consciously choose to allow my thoughts to become my words, I speak the truth with care and respect and compassion for myself, for humanity, and for all the world around me. For that is who I am, and that is who I will go forth being. And as I open my eyes, I come back to this moment in time, refreshed, aware, revitalized in the center of my power, for I am awesome, and so it is.
The message today is about power, the power that's within you. And I can't think of a more appropriate piece to play to set the Reverend up for her message about that than Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Because it's all about the fact that the power was always within Dorothy to get back home.
Okay, well, when I said it's awesome, I had no idea how awesome our experience was just going to become. So thank you. Wow. Last week we talked about the power of zeal. Can you feel yourself sizzling right now? Wow. So my first Sunday here, the end of June, I invited to have shared with you the song by Daniel Nahmod, One Power. And, it really sets the tone for today. There's one power invisible, and I see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. It's as simple as the love inside of you. One power, one power. Sing it with me. One power, one power, one power. Can you feel it? Can you feel it activating in you? There's this energy that's building. That's why we affirm every Sunday. There's one power, one presence in my life, in the universe, in Unity of South Sound. God, goodness, omnipotence, which means all power. So we're affirming that every week. Those powerful words represent truth. And when we hear truth, we know it. We feel it, right? And you just live it. Just amazing. So Jesus was attributed to saying in the book of Matthew 12:37, by your words you will be justified. By your words you will be condemned. Meaning, every time you speak, you influence your world. You're either building it up or tearing it down, creating or destroying. You're sending out a vibration of truth, or you're limiting the potential creativity of your thought pattern. Speech is a power tool. It is the power of power. And the very word power has this magical, mystical sound. And then what is it about power? And truly, power is a gift that our source bestows upon us as divine birthright. So do you use it as it is intended? Do you even recognize the power that you have at your disposal? This is the basis of the power tool that we're going to be exploring today. If you hadn't already picked up on that, for our summer series that I'm calling our 12 Powers of Light, Our Divine Nature Awakened. Because it's based on Charles Fillmore, co-founder of our Unity Movement's idea that there are 12 faculties or attributes of God mind that define our divinity, our true nature. And that when they are activated and brought into balance, they demonstrate our wholeness. And that is what we are seeking every day of our existence, to come into alignment with our wholeness. And so we have these power centers, these tools available to us, and we're using this contemporary book, Divine Audacity, which I just love the title, Linda Martella-Whitsett, who talks about how these are powers of light, and she dares us to be the light of the world. And I dare you too. As we look at this is core teaching. This is really getting down to the basics. And as we get this, everything we do, we're going to build from that to really understand the power and the potential I have within me. And I have tools that I can use to claim who I am. So today we claim our power. According to Charles Fillmore, the power of power is our innate control over our thoughts and feelings. We do have the power to manage that. Power itself is the distinct ability to choose how we focus on a perception or how we allow that thought to enter the gateway of our consciousness. We have to pay attention, or all kinds of run-amok stuff's going to go on, right? So metaphysically, in New Thought teachings, the power of the word, whether thought or spoken, because the thought becomes the word. So the quality of that thought initially is going to make a difference, is considered the basis of all co-creation with God. God is a word we use to define our source, the vibration of all life, that energy that is co-creating with us. So the power to choose our thoughts is absolutely vital. How many of you know Mike Dooley? He's an author and a wonderful speaker, and he's known to say that thoughts are things, choose the good ones. And it's true, and it's important. So it's how we choose our own reality, and it is how we choose, finally, to become completely whole in demonstration of our Christ nature, of our true nature, of who we are. When we call the Christ nature, we're defining that we are anointed with this powerful energy of life. Jesus demonstrated it, but it wasn't his last name. I just want to make sure we're all clear on that. We can add the Christ to each of our names because it is who we are. We can anoint ourselves with that power. And it's interesting because that powerful energy that is within us through our spoken word is also bringing forth the power of imagination. See how all these power tools are closely interrelated to each other and activate another layer of our wholeness. So we can expand our understanding of power with the sub-powers of concentration, self-mastery, and authority, inspired through the book Divine Audacity, because Linda had this great way of really bringing forth the underlying expression of what these powers are, to give us more tools to understand it by. So it's interesting that after the resurrection and ascension of Jesus, his disciple Philip is known to be representative of the spiritual power of power. His name means lover of horses. And what are horses but magnificent, powerful animals Just by looking at them, you get that sense of their majesty. And so that's what we're talking about. And so his name represented that, but he also became known for his ability to effectively spread the message of truth through his speech. As he traveled around, as the disciples spread out and started to spread truth, but he was particularly effective with how he touched people with truth. He had been a fisherman initially, and with the brothers Andrew and Peter, who represent strength and faith, they all came from the same hometown, Bethsaida. And so it's interesting, therefore, that power is closely allied with faith and strength. We've talked about faith, we'll be talking about strength down the road a bit. Faith, which is really directed focus, is absolutely necessary for the release of spiritual power. Because you can imagine is, what you're standing on with your faith is the energy that you're going to be projecting through your center of power that's going to be formulated through your words, right? So you want to be really clear with what you're standing on from your and what you're directing your focus on. Power and strength are related, but may be confused if not properly understood. So strength is endurance, stability, and stamina, whereas power is the vital energy that enables one to accomplish, to follow through. It is the self-mastery of our reality. It allows us to sustain the energy that we need to keep moving forward. So just as electrical energy is generated when you turn on a switch, we don't even give a thought of it, we expect it to happen, right? You are the conductor of your own spiritual energy or vital power, so you have to choose to turn it on. It comes from within you. So opening the inflow of energy through prayer and receptivity of the Godness within you, that powerful divinity that is truly who you are, then can release that positive expression into the world. Jesus demonstrated that when he went apart to pray. You know, when he says he went apart for a while and he came back refreshed and revitalized with greater spiritual power, ready then to move forward to demonstrate greater truth. As within, so without. We start from within and we bring it out to demonstrate it. That is the way we develop the power within us. Many decades ago, Richard and Marialice Jafoya wrote a book, The Quest, of the Journey to Spiritual Rediscovery. And I love the analogy that they gave to the spiritual power of power. They suggest the power of the spoken word be compared to the difference between conventional light and laser light. With conventional light, the rays travel in all directions, only directed by means of a lampshade or a mirror or a prism. They just kind of go all over. But laser light is different, is coherent light. Rather than scattering in all directions, the light particles are in sync with each other. They are always going in exactly the same direction, and that increases their power enormously. Light from such a coherent source is powerful enough to burn a hole through a piece of steel. Can you imagine that power? So the laser at the same time then can also be tamed, enough to be used in delicate surgery to reattach a retina of the human eye, for example. Laser light is extraordinary, incredibly precise in its focus, and singularly powerful in its effect. Words, they say, are the lasers of human thought. Rather than scattering in all directions thoughts, when they are expressed as words, when they are in sync with each other, they are focusing intentionally. There's a concentration of where we're projecting the energy of our words that have come from the thoughts that are formulated from within. Before we can speak the thoughts that we have, we must be more cohesive, more coherent. We must take a breath to go within for clarity. How many times have you heard yourself say, I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. Or someone else has said before, you want to make sure that you're clear before you speak, so you don't create misperception or confusion, right? So in joining our thoughts together, they take on additional power, just like the laser. But with even greater potential, our words thus can create or destroy, because the energy behind them is going to be focused in on whatever it is that we set into motion. We must stand in our power through our words that express truth. That is why it is important to ground ourselves with that guidance and that voice from within us. As a parent, I remember learning that when I said to my young sons, "I like it when you pick up your toys. You're such good helpers," I would get a much greater response from them than if I said to them, "Why didn't you pick up your toys? Go in there and pick those toys up or you're in big trouble." One is building them up, the other is condemning or tearing them down. Which one do you think I got the greater response from? And the effect over time in hearing the consistency of words that are building up or tearing down would give me a more consistent response, and ultimately for them how they felt about themselves growing up. How often do we think about the power of our words? Think about the words that others have said to you and the impact it's had, and how some people seem to bring a positive response from you and others leave you feeling not so good. You don't really want to be around them, or you feel devalued in their presence. We've all had that experience, right? So what is the difference? It's not only their words, but it's the tone in which they were expressed, the energy that came from how it was expressed, right? So the spoken word actually sets up potential vibrations in the body, resulting in measurable physiological changes. You're going to see that slide. Because the power of power is centered in the throat, at the root chakra, the root of the tongue near the thyroid gland, and controlling all the organs that participate in the formation of words, the larynx, the tongue, the tonsils, all those things are designed to work together. And the thyroid controls the metabolism of the energy of the body. So in fact, the mind power of power located in this thyroid gland and the throat chakra controls all the vibratory energies of the body. Wow. That is why it is a power center. So you see how this energy in the throat, and it comes up, and it's the energy that then comes through as we express. It makes sense then that positive or negative tones of our words would have a powerful effect on the body. In fact, once we understand this, it's easy to see that power with your words either produce health or dis-ease. They affect our health and wholeness. So it's easy to see how we can react to the power center of the throat, react to the energy of words and sound and tone. A huge impact on our general health and well-being. And it also has an impact of how we view the world around us because of sound, of tone. Have you noticed that? You may not even recognize, but somehow there's something about the energy of what you're hearing that changes how you feel. So what are you listening to? It's important to consciously choose that. How often have you allowed yourselves to be held hostage from the words of others, or even by your own words that mirror negative thinking, that we take it on as our truth, that we believe it somehow? How tragic and sad is that when we don't recognize truth versus false evidence of something that's not real. We give our personal freedom away when we dishonor ourselves by believing anything that does not support, nor express from the development of our inner Christ nature. It is the voice that creates from its Christ nature that stands in our truth. The power of who we are allows us to stand in truth and then bring it out of the world, express it, and make a difference. So claiming the power of our voice center is what the spiritual baptism of Jesus' disciples, which I don't know if you realize, but disciples meant student. And then they became the apostles, which is teacher. So the baptism, the spiritual baptism from the book of Acts during the time of the Pentecost was their transformation of they are now ready to transform from student to teacher. They had returned to Jerusalem for the Jewish holiday, and they were gathered together praying in preparation for receiving the Holy Spirit as Jesus had instructed them when he came to them after his death. And it was described as this: when the day of the Pentecost had come, they were all together in one place, and suddenly from heaven, and we know that truly heaven is the conscious reality that we experience in the moment. But for the sake of this, it's like they imagine that something coming from a higher place. There came a sound like the rush of a violent wind, and it filled the entire house where they were sitting. Divided tongues as of fire appeared among them, and a tongue rested on each of them. And all of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other languages as the Spirit gave them the ability. The breath of the Spirit, of the Holy Spirit, the very breath that we breathe, when focused within, from within, is the awakening of our center of power. It comes upon us and allows us to speak a language of truth. And each of us individually has our own language and our own truth. And when we bring in that focus, we can understand each other. So it's not like we're all walking around, the Tower of Babel and speaking language that nobody can understand. We have the power within to hear, to understand, and to speak from compassion and respect and care to each other. So when we speak from the power of the spoken word, the words that create centered in truth, we send a powerful vibration not only into our body, but into the world around us to do great things. So this can be called a superpower, right? What then is it called when your actions match your words? It is being in integrity. For our words set into motion our actions. It is all linked. And as Dr. Seuss put it, we say what we mean and we mean what we say, and then we become it. The laser focus of intent to know what I mean and only say it from a place of truth. And if we break that pattern and say things we don't really mean, then we move out of integrity. We move out of balance of our power center of power. We are not speaking truth. We are not standing on who we are. Power without focus or power without intent is a power out of integrity. So this week I have an assignment for you. Let us remember the freedom of speech that we have been given not only in this country, but in our lives through the power of our divinity and the importance of how we use the power of our spoken word. Spend some time analyzing your words. What are your go-to words? What do you say most often? Take a word inventory. What words would you maybe rephrase to better empower what you say, what you want your life experience to be? Instead of saying, I'll never get over this cold, say something like, I'm already better feeling as I claim my wholeness. I'm already feeling better as I claim my wholeness. Or instead of, I'll never get out of debt, say, I'm attracting abundance and the perfect solution now. See the difference in the energy and the tone and the feeling that it projects? So I invite you to avoid using words always and never, as they generally limit, unless you're really focusing in on intent, like I always say, powerful words of truth. That would be okay. But also note that words of others that you maybe have accepted as your truth. And it could go way back to childhood, something that conditioned your belief about yourself that isn't your truth. Are you ready to let go of those words, to change those words to reflect who you know you are and who you want to show up and how you want to demonstrate in life? For instance, maybe you've heard you'll never find a home during this high market economy. Gazillions of dollars to buy a house, right? But you could change them. Others have found a perfect home during this time. I can too. It's like Mary Morrissey said when she was trying to sell a house, you know, all I need is one buyer. You don't have to worry about, you know, tons of people walking through my house. So it's like we shift our laser focus of intent and stand on that truth. So be aware of phrases that are limiting and practice saying phrases that affirm the truth that all things are possible with spirit. Let that be the faith that you ground in. To carry a positive statement around, something that can be your go-to mantra when you find yourself going down the rabbit hole of limited thinking. To shift yourself back. So this week, focus on speaking only positive, life-filled, power-centered words that stand on truth. And you will know it by the vibration that you feel. You know, when you like you have a sore throat and you can't feel like you can speak, that can be a sign that I have a restriction somehow because I haven't been standing in my truth. So I know this could be a challenging task, but remember, our society spends a lot of time hashing negative events, right? We love to talk about all the things that are wrong in the world around us and spewing that. Don't buy into it, don't listen to it, don't absorb it. Shift your thinking. It's easy to get caught up in it, but we can choose to refocus, rechange, rethink. What is the truth that I want to express and bring out into the world around me? Be aware and refocus. That ability to begin again is the freedom that we have been bestowed upon us as divine beings. Nobody was born that said, no, you can't have that power. You're stuck with who you are. Hopelessness, no. It is all within each of us. You can choose again and again to seek that inner power and redirect it, to ground yourself. What did Jesus do? He went within. That's how we find our power. The power tool of power is primed and ready to activate whatever we speak into life, to create our world by the authority of our divine essence. So in closing, I want you to affirm this powerful statement, and maybe this will be your go-to statement. I have the power to create my world. I have the power to create my world. Do you believe it? Say it again. I have the power to create my world. So what do you think we should put as a reminder of our power tool of power in our spiritual toolbox this week? Well, I have a die-hard battery. And isn't that a representation of energy ready to be activated? But it doesn't activate anything until we turn it on, until we plug it into something. So it's a reminder of the same thing that we need to do for ourselves. And so, that is the one power we know within our soul. You know it when you hear it, you know it when you speak it, you know it when you feel it. The truth we stand on as we become our potential. And there's a quote that I wanted to share with you. Gabby Bernstein said this: "Step into your authentic truth, because your truth will light up the world." Go do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Macon, for standing in your power and in the spoken word that you use so wisely and effectively. Thank you so much. So this is our time when we want to thank all of you who may be joining us for the first time here. Anybody here for the first time in the sanctuary? We're all natives. Okay, so, and those of you online, we thank you so much for sharing your consciousness and your love with us. And if you are here for the second time, welcome back. If you've been with us for a long time now, welcome home. And I would say welcome home to everybody. And that includes you, Michael. And to all our friends, we want to share our unity blessing. So to any newcomers and live streamers, join with me in saying, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. We're using our word in a powerful way. This time we'd like to have you prepare for our love offering and invite Michael to prepare for his next song. This is the time in our service where we get a chance to share of our financial blessings with this wonderful community. There are 4 easy ways to do so. The first is you can visit the website, www.unityofsouthsound.org, and in the upper right corner of the homepage, there's an orange donate button. You can make a one-time or an ongoing donation. It's very simple and secure. You can also call our office at 253-301-0385, or you can mail it to us at Unity of South Sound, 710 South Anderson Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405. If you're here in person, there's an offering plate on the back table in the sanctuary. And don't worry, everything is secure. So whichever way we make our tithes, we hold these love offerings in this moment in our hands or in our hearts, and we affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am in perfect balance and flow with the universal tides of giving and receiving. Thank you, God.
Thank you, Michael. It is a wonderful.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay. In case you were sleeping. What a wonderful world. Thanks to you and the rest of our wonderful musicians, Cerny and the Unity Band. Okay, it gives me shivers. So we have a few announcements and to share with you this morning. We'd like you to know that you can keep up to date on all our Sunday services and events by subscribing to our weekly newsletter. We call it the E-Blast. Go to our homepage, click on the newsletter sign-up button, then fill out your contact info and submit. And of course, your info will be safe on this secure site and will never be shared. So, in case you don't know, we need some volunteers. We're currently seeking volunteers for the sign team and for the hospitality team. And to tell you a little more about this, I would like to call up Diane and let her give you a little more inspiration to join us in this fun activity.
Look at you all out there. I never get to see you this way, and here you are.
You need the
in your
mic.
Smiling masks. So,
Wait.
oh, PE voice. All right, here we are. So a little bit about hospitality. I have a definition for you: the friendly and generous reception of guests, visitors, and strangers. So I see a lot of friendly faces out there, and we need your help. And the friendliness comes with coffee, tea, and water, and some goodies that we put out every week. It's quite simple, and it's quite lovely, and it's fun. And we'd like you to assist us. So if you can give us a little time, we only need 2 or 3 per week, and we rotate, and it doesn't take very long. And I will be in the back with a clipboard to take down information. We'd love to have you. We'd love you to join us. And it looks like a 2-butt kitchen, but it's really a 3-butt kitchen. So come and join us, and I'll be at the back for that.
Yes? Okay. Project Paintbrush. Yesterday, we, and that's the royal we, completed our project house for this season's Project Paintbrush. Yay! So stay tuned next week for some amazing before and after photos. We want to give a great big shout out to all our volunteers. Because of you, we were able to bless this wonderful, deserving homeowner with house painting at no cost to her. Thank you so much for all of you for supporting with your time, energy, and prayers. We're so very blessed, and may we continue to be a blessing to our community. And I want to call out Heidi Maloney. She didn't tell me to do this either. She didn't know. So this has been a pet project of hers for many years. How many, Heidi?
That was our 9th house.
9th house. And I know because my husband's been involved, I think, in just about all of them every year. Yeah, so this is such a wonderful opportunity to give back to our community. And it wouldn't happen without your love, interest, focus, and congruence, integrity, and speaking the word for us to inspire us to help you in this venture. So thank you, Heidi, so much. Another exciting topic, faith in action. We have some exciting updates for you about our upcoming Faith in Action series. And to do that, I want to call up Reverend Megan to tell us all about it.
Then you're going to go back to a picnic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So, how many of you know what Faith in Action is? So some of you have never experienced a Faith in Action program. Well, Faith in Action is demonstrating who we are, putting feet to our prayers, and really stepping it up as a community where we can come together and show what we can do together, but also there's a spiritual educational piece that allows us to share our wisdom with each other. So I just want you to, we're planting seeds. We have a great team of leaders that we've called together. We're looking at the areas of focus of what we need to create. But I want to let you know there's going to be a couple of opportunities for you. One, Ruth, blessed Ruth, has stepped up to lead the facilitation of the host groups. There are going to be small group studies where you get to sign up for a group. We're going to be, oh, I didn't bring the book up here. We're going to be using the book, The Creative Life by Eric Butterworth, which is tapping into our inner genius. So for 7 weeks, starting the first weekend in October, we're going to be learning about how we create together and holding the vision for what our potential is, not only individually, but as a community, a spiritual community. What are we going to be creating moving forward? And so every week, then you will have the opportunity to join with a study group, to ask questions, to discern, to go deeper with the lesson. And this year, we're looking at doing it via Zoom groups, and that each individual group will be able to discern whether they would like to meet in person or not. We're going to leave that up to you. And Ruth will be helping to facilitate and organize that. So we're going to be calling for those that might like to facilitate a group in the next couple of weeks. We're getting the pieces together for you. The other big thing that we could really use some people to get on board is our celebration team, because on November 20th, we are all going to come together to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Unity of South Sound this year, yes, to honor our history, all that we've created, and what is our potential moving forward for the next 50 years. And we're going to share our stories and our vision and why this community is meaningful to us. It's going to be a beautiful thing, but it's going to require people to help make it happen. So Annie is going to be helping out with that, but we need somebody to really step up to be the organizer or collaborate with her. So if it's something that's calling to you, we're going to have sign-up sheets. I'm just planting seeds. Be watching, intentional giving, and what we're co-creating together, all of this. We're going to have a creative arts team. Barbara Baumel is going to be leading and inviting those of you that would like to be involved in creative expression, so we can activate all of our potential and our talents and our gifts here in this community. So just stay tuned and be ready, right?
Jennifer with the kids.
Oh, and Jennifer with the kids. Jennifer is actually writing curriculum from the book, The Creative Life, so that the kids will be studying the same information. They're going to do a kickoff pancake breakfast on October 2nd. The YOU is, and they're going to be involved in some of the creative activity. It's going to be fabulous. So this is a great time to invite people to join our community too. Just stay tuned. I said more than I planned, but I'm excited. Are you? All right.
I got so excited, I skipped over the annual church picnic. Sorry about that. I was going to say that. Okay, so save the date. It's this coming Sunday. Unity of South Sound's annual church picnic will be held next Sunday, August 14th, after the service from 12 to 3 at Franklin Park here in Tacoma. Hot dogs and vegan dogs will be provided. We're asking attendees to bring the sides, beverages, etc., that your family pod would like to have. Bring your picnic items and a camping chair. We can't wait to enjoy this beautiful summer weather with all of you.
Well, and just to clarify that when we say bring your sides, it's just to share with those that you're bringing with you. We're not going to put it out like a potluck because we're still observing COVID protocol. We want to create safety and a loving environment for everyone. Ask you to wear a mask when you're around food. But the whole point is to come together and just enjoy being with each other. And so just plan on joining us next Sunday after service. It's going to be a wonderful time.
Great, thank you. We also want to remind you that we do have a prayer box, and it's a prayer request box by our main doors out there. If you have a prayer on your heart, please feel free to write it on our prayer form and drop it in the box. Prayers will be sent to our prayer chaplains to pray over them, and also to Silent Unity to be prayed over for 30 days. And as we were mentioning before, welcome back to hospitality. We welcome you back to Hospitality and Connection on Sunday mornings after the service in that room right there, which is called Wesley Hall. Coffee and tea will be provided. We encourage everyone to be mindful around snacks and beverages and to consider wearing a mask. Please join us for some coffee and connection. And now it's time to bless our youth and sing them in.
So today we also were studying in our classrooms the power of power. And they talked about the power of our thoughts, our words, and the power of our actions. And they created ice cream in their classrooms. Yes. So using ice and salt and cream and sugar and the power to create something. Yep. Using our actions and our thoughts and our words and a recipe. And so they created ice cream, and they said it was very yummy. I mean, half and half sugar, vanilla. How can you go wrong, right? So very yummy. I also wanted to mention that our YOU is not with us today. They were supposed to be at the regional camp called Rendezvous, and the camp retreat site got taken over by fire. And camp got suddenly canceled the morning of leaving. It was very heartbreaking for everybody across the region. However, the parents of our YOU and Tacoma YOU came together and said, these kids deserve camping or some kind of experience. We have leaders in our YOU, spiritual leaders, who had all the documents and information that they would be sharing with their family groups as a leader. They took all of that out and went camping. So they are not here with us. They are camping on a piece of property, and they are still in that spiritual space that they would have gotten in Rendezvous, and using all of that information that had been shared with those student leaders. So I'm very excited. It was really powerful for our parents to come together and say, what can we create for them that will allow them to experience the being in nature and the camping experience and still get the spiritual food that had already been created for them. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. And the retreat center, the Lazy F Ranch, could really use your prayers.
Another example of rising to the occasion by our sponsors and our parents and the kids and having a wonderful outcome in spite of that situation. So let's bless these little godlights and all these wonderful teachers and adults. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. So parents, if you have children up here, come on up, take their hands. Everyone else, we invite you to stand if you are able, and hold your hands high as we sing our peace song, sending peace out to the entire world. light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God enfolds us. I am the presence. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well. Thank you for joining us. See you next week, same time, same place. God bless you all, and hospitality right this way.